Welcome back. So in my last cryptic video, and I do mean cryptic, I do understand sometimes I make very ambiguous thought videos. Someone asked me which system did I choose. I'm not sure if they meant political system or which system did I choose to propel my life forward. And I chose to pick myself up by the bootstraps. Now, what I mean by that, especially in that video, is to find your own way and to never give up on trying to, not just trying to survive, but trying to accomplish your goals. And I know that that sounds really corny because people don't necessarily say that anymore. It sounds like something from the 80s, but in reality, it's true. In my absence of this channel, I got really sick. I started this channel in, I don't know if it was Japan or Bangkok or something, but I started this channel over in Asia. And I uploaded regularly, what I would think would be regularly, at least weekly. And then when I moved back to the United States, which I'll do a video on that, I got sick soon after. I always wonder if I wouldn't have moved back to the United States if I wouldn't have gotten sick, okay? But here we are, okay? At least for the time being, here we are. So, X amount of years later, I am here, and of course the country has changed. We'll also do some videos on how the country has changed, in many ways it has changed. But back to the original question is, even through all of the changes, I still managed to pick myself up by the bootstraps. After I got really sick, and it took healing has been very spotty, I'll say, because I got sick with a stroke when I came back to the States, and I went through a long period of recuperating, and then there was a period of when I thought I was absolutely fine, and then I had some symptoms that reemerged, and I had been dealing with those symptoms ever since. And being majorly sick has its, of course it's a major downside. However, it does have some positives, and I'll get into that because we do know that a lot of people will be getting sicker. I got sick after, actually before COVID started, and I was sick throughout COVID, so that can tell you how far back that was. And when I was still working on this channel. But so I had to fight for my recovery. So picking myself up by my bootstraps and fighting for my life as I knew it has always been a thing for me, okay? So I don't know how to get an easy ride as far as having a major illness or having a major, I guess you could say, life-threatening illness happen to you. I don't know how you can not pick yourself up by your own bootstraps, because your recovery when you get sick is all on you. It's all your responsibility. Doctors can give you medications and they can give you advice, and a diagnosis, but they can't get you well. You have to get you well. You have to be your own doctor and nurse and everything. So because I was already that way, a person who believed in making their life happen, someone who believed in creating their own life, and I want to contribute that, well, I would say because I was raised that way, I would that had spilled over, or that spilled over into when I was sick, and then I had to get myself back, because it's so easy, especially in the United States, to remain sick, because our healthcare system is heavily dependent upon you remaining sick and not healing. That's how they make their money. And they would love to be able to make an appointment for you every week or every month, every other week, because that's how they get paid. They'd love to prescribe you, dope you up, and put you in the land of the woo-woo forever, so that you don't know what the hell is going on, and it makes it easier to coast through everyday life in the United States. But that's not the path for me, and that wasn't the path for me. Medication does have its pluses, let's just say, but it's not something that you should be dependent upon if you don't have to be. Okay, I will say that, especially nowadays. And I think that there's a lot of different forms of medication, be it the internet, drama, or crashing out. There's a lot of things that we use as medication just to get through everyday life today, except for the actual energy and will that it takes to actually heal ourselves. But that's a whole nother video. So to answer the question, I chose to pick myself up by my own bootstraps, and I do so every single day, because, as I say, recovery is my choice. It is my responsibility to get well. It's not the doctor's responsibility to get well, Now, if you meant which political system I chose, I know that you all knew that this was I don't know, I don't want to say a Trump parody channel, but it was I definitely put a spotlight on Trump, and I will put that spotlight back on him in future videos, because I was the first one, and I will own it, to say that he is a magician. I was the first one to say that, and I believe that video is still up if you look at it. I was the first one to nail that, and I know someone else did a video years later, or more recently, within the last 6 months, asking if Trump was a magician. And if you all if you all go back and in my archives, you'll see that I did a video asking, or just stating, that Trump is a magician. I would say that he is as far as the Tarot now, he's many cards now at this point. He's not the same Trump that we knew before. But whatever that is, and some people would like to say he's always been that way, but I think that because a lot has evolved in this country, and there has been a lot of new players, that he could not remain the same. He would have to evolve as well, like we all must. We all must evolve, because that's the name of the game. And that which doesn't evolve dies. It remains stagnant, and it eventually dies. Okay? So at this particular point, politically, which I didn't vote in the last election, but like I said, I'll do more videos on that. I didn't vote in the last election, and I had my reasons why. I think it was as clear as day, and I don't necessarily complain about the political structure, because I think if you were born here in this country, you already understand that it's mindless to really complain about either side, because they're two sides of the same coin. And people who there's a lot of people, you would be surprised to see how many people don't really realize that our politics are two sides of the same coin. They're the same people, just dressed up differently, just calling themselves something different. But they just posture different. They just wear a different costume, but they do the same thing. You think that if you talk to the manager, that you're going to get a better response, but the manager can also go in the back and make fries and make your burger too. So your manager can do the same thing that the employee can do, and the employee can do the same thing that the manager do. There's just slight differences, right? Right. And so I'm going to end this video. I will come back But I did want to answer that question because I did think that it is an important question, especially now with all of the grifts going on. We are in the grift era, and that will be my next video because people are still surprised about us being in the era of the grift. And so we must discuss that. Until next time.